Welcome to the Winter 2011 edition of Recreation Television, your connection to recreation opportunities provided by Roanoke County Parks. Well, it's a new year, and that means it's a great time to come to Green Ridge Recreation Center and get back in shape. It's also a great way to stay warm and active during the winter months. Come here through daily admission or membership, or you can participate in a program here. We've got lots of them, and we'll show you a few on today's show, from dance to youth camps and clinics, even special events here at Green Ridge. Fitness, of course, is the first thing you think of when you think of Green Ridge Recreation Center, and we're going to start off by talking about some of the new fitness programs available this winter. We're here in the Wellness Center at Green Ridge Recreation Center, where I'm joined by Deidre Wilkes, and she's the group exercise coordinator here. Deidre, we've got more programs for the public than ever before this semester.
We do. Yeah, we've got some exciting programs coming up for the winter.
Things to keep you active. Well, let's talk about some of those new ones. One of them has a very strange name.
Yes,
I can't even pronounce it.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's capoeira.
And what is that?
That is an Afro-Brazilian art form which combines martial arts, music, and dance. And we did a demo here a couple of weeks ago, and members were very interested in it, so we decided to offer it as a program in the winter. And it's a great workout, too.
And to the general public, so anyone can sign out for it.
Correct.
You can find it in our winter program guide, the Recreation magazine. Well, what is involved? Is this an intensive class? Is it for anyone, any kind of activity level?
Well, it's pretty intense. There's a lot of movement, a lot of big moves. There's a lot of floor moves, a lot of dance involved. But it can be modified for different levels, and it's really driven by the music. It's got great beats, and it's just a really intense workout. And if you like to dance, and if you like something different, and if you like martial arts, because it combines all of those things.
Is there anything else like this in the Valley, or is this pretty unique?
This is pretty unique, which is why it drew such attention when they were here a couple of weeks ago.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Another new class this session is a kettle class. First of all, what is a kettle?
This is a kettlebell, and it looks like a cannonball with a handle on it. And it's a variation of a free weight, but it gives you the opportunity to have much greater range of motion, incorporating a lot more muscles. And also the speed at which a lot of the exercises are done also gives you a cardiovascular component.
Would you be willing to show me what maybe an exercise might look like with the kettle?
Sure. Well, the kettlebell, you can do exercises using one hand and one arm, something such as that, which is the single arm movement incorporated with a squat. And then you can also do exercises with both hands and do something very propulsive like this, which incorporates a lot of upper body as well as lower body muscles, and also gets your heart rate going.
And I see the way you're holding it, that's something that you really couldn't do with a standard weight.
Exactly, and the way that the weight is distributed as well gives it a much different feel than a traditional free weight.
Quickly, is there anything else new this session that you want to talk about?
We've got a big weight loss challenge coming up in January for everybody who is looking for their New Year's resolution. We've got wellness coaching again, and we also have a breast cancer survivor exercise program that is something new that we're starting.
And you have to be a survivor to participate in the program?
Absolutely. There's a lot of rehabilitative exercises that they will do that are very specific to women recovering from that.
Women of all ages recovering?
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of those great people in our Valley survivors, so take a look at that class. If you want to know more, call us at 777-6300 or find out more at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Green Ridge Recreation Center has some great fitness classes, but that's not all they do here. We've got a wide variety of programs and even special events for the general public. Some of our most popular programs have been in the dance category. This winter we've expanded that dance lineup to include new courses, including salsa, Latin, groove, waltz, ballet, and another new course that we'll talk about now, line dancing. I'm joined by Shelley McCallum, and we're especially excited that this session she's teaching a new dance class for us here at the Brambleton Center. Shelley, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit of the history of line dancing. Now, when I heard we're teaching a line dancing class, the first thing I thought was, oh, this is country music, boot scootin' boogie and all that. Is that what line dancing is?
No, not anymore. It used to be back in the 80s when it first started, but now it's all kinds of music. The choreographers do music from the 50s and 60s, as well as like Lady Gaga or something like that. It's all different than it used to be and a lot more fun.
Okay, well, tell me about the class that you're going to be teaching here at Brambleton. What type of class is it? Do you have to have any dance experience at all to participate?
No. What I'll be teaching is just like a regular line dance class for male or female, either one. Come by yourself. You don't need a partner. It's for any ages, and you meet new people, and you have so much fun. You're exercising your body as well as your mind, because you're trying to remember what step you're going to do next. So it is a lot of fun.
So good for the mind, all ages. Does it matter how old you are to take this class? Of course, adults can register for it, but doesn't matter what age you are. It's a lot of fun. Well, could you maybe show me maybe one of the moves that you all would be doing in this class? I'm really not very good dancer, so if I can do it, anybody can do it.
It's easy. We'll do a grapevine, okay?
Sure.
That's what it's called. You're going to step your right foot to your right, and you're going to step your left behind, and you're going to step your right back out and touch. Okay. And then we're going to go to the left and do the same thing. You're going to left, right behind, left, and touch right. Okay. That's a grapevine. See how easy that was?
That wasn't too hard, but I guess my trouble is when you put it all together and trying to remember the different steps. How do you teach it so that you remember what you're doing from one step to the next?
Okay, what we do is most choreographers do a dance in sections of 8. So we will learn 8 steps at a time. Most dances are 32 counts, so you're doing 4 sets of 8.
And what you just showed me there, was that 1 set or 2 sets?
That's an 8 count. That is 1 set.
One set.
That's an 8 count.
So I've got to remember
that's the
just
first
a few
one.
more of those.
That's right.
Okay, well, then tell me, when is the class?
The class will be on Monday nights, starting at 6:30. In January, and it's a 6-week course.
6-week course. And we were telling me earlier, one of the things that people enjoy most about the class is just the opportunity to socialize. Talk about that.
Absolutely. I have met so many nice people in my classes that I've been teaching, and it's a chance for you to get out, to socialize, come and meet new people. You make new friends. It's a whole new ball game there.
And then after the class is over, once you've learned to line dance, how do you apply this? Is this something that you found that you, when you go to parties, are using?
No, unfortunately you don't. But what I do, I go around to different workshops like in Richmond, Virginia or Myrtle Beach. There are several workshops where they hold these and then you do dances after the fact. But here in Roanoke, the reason I started my classes was just so I could continue dancing. But if you stay with it, we do the dances and keep dancing where we are in our classes and stuff.
And join the class. We'll have more people in Roanoke that know how to line dance, and you'll have someone to line dance with. Find out more about it online at www.roanokecountyparks.com. We hope to see you in class. Line dance programs like the one you just saw are offered at Green Ridge Recreation Center and right here at Brambleton Center this winter session. Find out more at RoanokeCountyParks.com. This is all part of our lineup of hundreds of general recreation programs for the public, for both adults and youth too. And while we're on the topic of dance and youth, this session we're proud to offer 2 preschool dance programs at Green Ridge. We're going to go to Green Ridge now and learn about them. I'm joined by Tracy Addison, Assistant Director at Miss Mona's School of Dance. Now, just a few minutes ago, we learned about an adult line dancing course. That's not all we're offering in this session. We also have dance courses for preschool age. Can you believe it? I didn't. But how do you dance when you are under 5 years old? We have 2 different courses. Tell us about each one of those.
Well, our preschool dance class is one that helps get the children ready to do a more structured environmental class, such as ballet or tap, when they turn 5. With the preschoolers, we do a lot of creative movement, a lot of moving with scarves and playing with hula hoops and that sort of thing. But more importantly, we just get them used to dance and used to the different types of music and the different styles. We really focus getting our children prepared for a kindergarten program. So we focus a lot on following directions, staying in line, spatial relationships, make a line, make a circle, sharing, and everything, the social aspect as well.
Okay, well, let's go back to the first of the 2 classes. That's Parent and Me or Mommy and Me dance class. This is for ages 3 months to 30 months, correct?
Yes.
What can you possibly do when you're that young?
Well, we feel that it's very, very important for children to be exposed to music and dance as early as possible. And the more they're around that type of atmosphere and the more they're around the arts, the more inclined they are to choose that for themselves when they're old enough to make that choice of what they want to be involved in. So what our Mommy and Me class does that we are really proud of is that not only does it give the moms an hour to unwind that they may not normally have during the week. I'm a mother of a toddler, so I know how that is to not really have that hour to yourself. But the moms have that 45-minute hour time slot to themselves where they can relax and be with calming music, but at the same time they're spending time with their little ones, giving the little ones the same opportunity to hear the music and do a little bit of movement. At 3 months old, they're able to pick up their child, swaddle them, make them comfortable, but yet move with them around the room, sitting in a circle, stretching. Even nice gentle stretches for 3 months old are certainly appropriate and good for their health. And so we build on that as they get older. By the time the kids are walking age, they're really ready to participate, and the parents are able to do a little bit of beginning gymnastics with them, a little bit of pre-structured ballet, a little bit of beginner tap, and just have a really good time for that 45 minutes. I'm sorry, 45 minutes. They're sharing that time with their little ones, but they're also incorporating all the things that we know will further their education along down the road.
And there's a big difference between a 3-month-old and a 30-month-old at the end of the spectrum. How do you cope with the differences there?
Well, what we do is once we've gotten the enrollment, we gear the class toward whatever the majority is of the age group that we have. So for instance, the last class we taught at the studio, all the children were walking. So that made the structure
based on the participants.
Exactly.
Well, let's move on really quickly to then the next group, which was the one you started talking about at the beginning, older kids, 3 to 5 year olds.
The preschool class.
Yes, this is without the parents.
Yes, they do participate without the parents. We encourage the parents to use the beautiful facilities at the rec center here, and we have the children with us for 45 minutes, and basically they learn the very beginnings foundations of ballet, the positions of the arms and feet. They start to learn a little bit about novelty dance and creative movement, but we also start to work on learning a little bit of French terminology in ballet. We really want to get them socialized for kindergarten preparedness as well as for a structured dance class.
All things that can help them later in life.
Absolutely.
And you can learn more about it at our website, www.roanokecountyparks.com. Once again, we're offering our largest selection ever of dance programs at both Green Ridge Recreation Center and Brambleton Center. Now, another one of our most popular program areas is technology. This winter, we're offering programs on computer basics, digital photography, digital image correction, and introduction to the internet. Now, if you're anything like me, you suffer from the drawbacks of technology too. Ever had a hard drive crash? It's easier than you think to troubleshoot and repair basic issues at home. Here's how. We're here in the computer lab at Brambleton Center, where I'm joined by Gary Fouts, who teaches several programs for us, all about computer technology. Welcome to the program, Gary.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, what programs do you teach this winter session?
We teach basic computer, where it's for the novice people who's just starting out. Then we teach computer repair on how to repair your own computer.
Okay, now are these both classes geared towards somebody with no knowledge whatsoever of computers?
Yes.
Let's first talk very briefly about the basic computers. What's that going to go over?
That will go over everything from what a toolbar is to a taskbar to it goes into how to put a screensaver on the desktop, email, how to clean out a computer, which is really important, because if you don't clean the computer out, the computer can get so much temporary internet files, cookies, and this type of thing. It'll slow the computer down.
You know, I was one of those people that I went through a computer a year before I started learning that, like you teach in your class, that you can really do a lot at home to make the life of the computer last longer. What are some of those basic things that you can do?
Well, you need to defrag your computer when needed, and that brings the files. It's what's called broken files, and it brings them all back together. You defrag, do a disk cleanup, which gets rid of other temporary files that pile up, and I've seen as many as 380,000 in a computer.
Wow.
And then of course you want to run a good antivirus spyware program. You at least want to run that once a day.
Once a day?
Yeah, okay. And SpyBot Search and Destroy is a really good one.
And of course you go over all the different programs and how often you need to do it, but really you can extend the life of your computer and save money by not having to take it to the shop all the time. And speaking of saving money, one thing you can do is learn to repair your computers to yourself. And we've got a computer right here. That's one of the other classes you teach.
Exactly.
It's a little intimidating to me looking at this computer right now. A lot of wires, I don't know where they go. But you don't have to know where all of them go to be able to fix some minor repairs.
Well, I get tickled at people that come in and the first night we don't actually go into the computer the second week we do, and then they're standing there looking at it like it's going to bite them. It's not going to bite you. It's not going to run you around the room. It's a pretty simple operation.
Well, show us some basic repair functions and where they would be in the computer. So just prove to me that it's not that hard.
Okay, well, number one, this is the processor here. This processes all the information that comes into the computer. So this is a very important piece of the computer. This is actually the computer itself, okay? This motherboard back here is the computer. This is just a metal case. That's all it is, okay? And then, of course, you got your hard drive here, and the hard drive is where people make their mistake. If this were to go bad, and you have your information on there, you've lost everything.
Right.
So it's a very simple process of just taking the hard drive out, just like that, taking the ribbon off the back and the power, taking a new one, putting it back in there, formatting it, putting the operating system back on.
And it's a lot easier than you think, and you teach folks how to do it in the class. 2 classes that we have there, basic computers and computer repairs, both basic classes taught here at the Brambleton Center. So thanks, Gary, and sign up online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. One of the advantages of Roanoke County's recreation facilities are rooms like this one designed for specific activities. Brambleton also has a kiln, a ceramic studio, and of course this pottery room with 13 wheels, one of them being handicapped accessible. Everything you need to play. But what about the kids? Think it's too early to think about summer camp? Think again. Earlier, we caught up with Camp Roanoke director Greg Martin. It may be cold outside, but that's no excuse not to go outside and enjoy the great outdoors. And one way to do it is to join us. The staff at Camp Roanoke has programmed some trips and outdoors opportunities this winter. First, we'll talk about those, then we'll move on and talk about Camp Roanoke. We're here with director of Camp Roanoke, Greg Martin. Well, first of all, tell us about those winter programs.
We've got some great hikes lined up this winter. We're going to Angel's Rest and also the Cascades. We also have a hiking trip planned out at Camp Roanoke and a first-time Valentine's Day hiking adventure out at camp that we're going to finish up with the campfire and s'mores. Storytelling, music, the whole 9 yards.
And interestingly enough, Camp Roanoke generally not open to the general public for hiking, and especially Spring Hollow Reservoir, which is on the property there at camp, something not everybody gets to see, right?
That's right, absolutely.
And some gorgeous wildlife out there as well, especially this time of year. But moving on, there's some other events. Mark your calendars for February 19th at Valley View Mall.
That's right. We're sponsoring a regional camp fair. There'll be over 30 camps from around the state, and
we'll learn a little bit more about that later on in the show. But it's a great place to find out what's really right for your kids this summer. It's never too early to think about summer camp. And speaking of summer camps, Greg, your specialty, Camp Roanoke, Roanoke County's own Camp Roanoke. Talk about what's new this year.
Looking forward to a great summer 2011 season. Very excited to be working with Green Ridge and Splash Valley. Our day campers will actually be coming here once a week for a fun day full of everything that Splash Valley offers.
2 3.5-story water slides and a whole lot.
Ton of fun. And we're also offering paintball this year at camp.
That's interesting.
We also have some whitewater canoeing scheduled this year. We have new trails. Actually, we were scouting on those today. So we've got a lot of great new activities lined up for the kids.
Talk about that paintball, because that's brand new this year. How do you do that? In the woods at camp, or what do you do?
Well, we actually don't use paintball rifles. Helmets, gear. We have a range, and we use slingshots.
Really?
So it's actually a slingshot paintball.
In a fun, safe environment as well.
Absolutely.
Speaking of safe environment, Camp Roanoke is accredited by the American Camp Association, which really holds us to a very high standard, doesn't it, Greg?
It does. It keeps staff safe, campers safe, making sure that we're doing everything that's required to be part of that accreditation. And
one more thing that's new at Camp Roanoke this year, our Outpost program for ages rising 7th through 11th graders.
That's correct.
Talk about that.
During that week, campers are going to have 2 days of whitewater canoeing, 2 days of backpacking, also a day of rock climbing. So they're definitely going to be off-site more and doing a little bit more camping in the backcountry. So
new adventures, trips to Splash Valley, and a whole lot more new at Camp Roanoke. So check them out at www.camproanoke.com. One more thing, if you're still not sure if you want to go to camp and you need to try it out, we are having an open house. What's the date of that?
April the 9th from 10 until 4 o'clock. That's a Saturday.
So mark your calendars. You get a free lunch out of it. You get to see camp and you get to meet Greg Martin. What could be better than that? So check us out online at camproanoke.com. Summer 2011 registration for Camp Roanoke is open right now, and you can save $25 when you register before April 11th. Want to know more? Pick up one of these guides, the Camp Roanoke 2011 summer brochure, at any of our recreation centers, or see it online at RoanokeCountyParks.com or CampRoanoke.com. Want something to do with the kids right now? Well, of course, you can take them right here to Green Ridge Recreation Center. A daily admission fee lets you into the pool, wellness center, track, gymnasium, or activity room. But no admission, of course, is required if you're just coming here to take a class, like the next one, needle felting. One of the most unique new classes offered this session is one on needle felting, and here to talk about that is Jody Lunsford. Welcome.
Thank you.
We have a whole array of very interesting pieces here. I see animals. I see a miniature person.
Yeah, little characters.
What in the world is this?
It's soft sculpture, and they are needle felted. They are solid wool toys.
And when I said this is going to be a needle felting interview, I'm going to talk to someone who needle felts. I thought we'd be sitting here with crocheting needles and we'd be making a scarf, but that is not what this is at all. What exactly is needle felting?
This is the tangling of fibers. I work with wool that's been sheared from the fiber animal. It's been sent through a fiber mill. And they process it a lot of different ways. It's cleaned and carded, of course, but I use wool batting for the core of my project.
And batting, this is pretty much what you'd find in a pillow if you were to be making pillow or blanket at home.
A lot of bedding, and quilters use this as well. And then I use wool roving, which comes in a lot of different colors, as you see. And this is in the stage before it's knitted.
So this is the same
it's spun
stuff
into yarn.
That you would get as yarn before.
Right. Right.
And where do you find something like this?
Well, over the internet. There's nobody in Roanoke that sells it. So yes, I do a lot of internet shopping.
So you have the supplies, and this is all it takes to make a work of needle felting art.
Right. These are the needles that you use. They're triangular at the bottom. They're extremely sharp. If you miss the wool, you know it. It hurts. There's little barbs on the end that go in one direction, which cause the wool fibers to connect.
Now you're not sewing here.
No, there's no sewing.
Your animal
not
here
even
and
his clothing is sewn. That's all needle.
You stab it. Show me what exactly you're doing when you're needle felting.
You're actually just stabbing. This is a project that I'm working on now. I'm applying alpaca fleece to the outside.
Now that's different from the wool that we see here. That's something that you could use as an alternative?
You can use it basically on the outside because alpaca is straight and it doesn't have any. Wool is like a little Christmas tree. It has little scales on it. So as you punch it, they connect. You know how wool is scratchy to your skin? Right. Well, that's why, because there's lots of little scales on it.
And those are the fibers that make it so that when you
punch it,
it'll actually hold firm.
When you punch this, I don't have a pad, but when you punch it, it's actually connected, and the more you punch, the firmer it becomes.
Well, let's talk about the class. Is this for anyone who's not? Do you have to have any experience at all?
I don't think so. I recommend it highly. I fell in love with it. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for little stuffed animals and dolls. My mother made dolls when I was little, and I helped her. So yeah, anybody that would like to give it a try, it's, you know, I'm not artsy. I do a lot of crafts, but I can't draw anything. So.
And the supplies you'll have with you in the class as well?
Yes, I will.
So all the supplies are included. All you need to bring is your hands to do some really interesting works. And
I'll have everything else for you.
They certainly make neat gifts as well.
Oh, yes, they love them.
You're quite an artist, and you can be an artist too. Just sign up for the class. Visit us online at www.RoanokeCountyParks.com or call 772-PLAY and sign up for needle felting. As you can see, there are plenty of classes to keep you busy inside, even when it's cold outside. Not up to a full class, Roanoke County offers several free special events during the winter months. Let's hear about some of those right now. It's always a pleasure to be joined by Wendy Schultz, the Tourism and Events Director here for Roanoke County. And we've got another great event coming up in February this year, Tons of Fun, which has been going on for how many years now?
12 fabulous years.
Which is really a long time for a special event. Can you talk about the success and why it's continued on so long?
You know, it is amazing that for 12 years it continues to get more popular. You know, I think part of it is we change things around every year. We have different organizations that participate as well as the old old favorites. I mean, for instance, last year we had 30 organizations that came out and actually, did activities with the kids, for the kids. We had well over 50 activities, we had performances, we had rides, we had all kinds of things. We had music, we had puppet shows, and everything just flows and everything just fits, and everything's free.
And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the things that will be at this year's Tons of Fun, but first, for those who really aren't sure what we're talking about here, Tons of Fun, what is it, where is it?
Okay, Tons of Fun is a fabulous indoor family activity at Tanglewood Mall. It has always been for the last 12 years the first Saturday in February, so it'll be February 5th, 2011. And as I mentioned, all of the activities, all of the performances, everything you want to participate in is absolutely free.
Fantastic. Name some of the organizations and maybe some of the more intriguing activities that one might find
Certainly.
there.
The Girl Scouts come out every year. We have the Roanoke Symphony that comes out, and they actually do a musical petting zoo, which is fabulous. We have the ballet comes out, and they even do mini ballet lessons for kids as well as short performances. We have puppet shows. We have a multitude of craft activities for the kids to be involved in. Roanoke County Parks, Rec and Tourism is out there in full force, of course, doing fabulous activities to kind of highlight the programs that they do throughout the year. We bring in special performers from out of town to come in every year just to change things around a bit.
Hate to put you on the spot, but any special guests, any surprises this year, maybe something that's new?
We actually will have some surprises, but if I told you what they were, they wouldn't be a surprise now, would they?
Ooh, you're good.
I am.
Well, there's some other things to mark your calendars for. Wendy will tell me about a couple more of those in a second. First, I want to throw out the Camp Fair, which is going to be held, that's always the third week in February every year. This year it's at Valley View Mall on Saturday, February 19th, where you can come and look at camps from all over the region, all over the Mid-Atlantic region, actually, including our own Camp Roanoke, which hosts the event. But Wendy, you have a couple other events that you're going to be doing later in April and May. Can you talk about those really quickly?
Sure. We have a geocaching event that we're going to be doing in May, which is our third year for doing that, which is fabulous, where you use a GPS. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, which is going to be a really fabulous event in May.
And do you want to talk about Blue Ridge Kite Festival also in April?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's another annual event that everybody dearly loves. It's the third weekend in April every year, and the kites are absolutely magnificent.
Something you don't want to miss.
Absolutely
and they're here in the Roanoke Valley, one of our premier events. But of course, tons of fun. First thing on the list, mark your calendars for those other events. If you want to know more, find out at www.roanokecountyparks.com. We've seen a lot on today's program, from personal health and fitness to crafts and, of course, indoor fun right here at Green Ridge Recreation Center. There's nothing like it in the area, and it's a great place to take the kids when it's cold outside, not too much to do. Plenty to do right in here, indoor pool activity room. It's great fun for everyone. Find out more about Green Ridge or any of the programs we talked about today online at www.roanokecountyparks.com or call 772-PLAY, that's 772-7529, to find out about any of our programs and register over the phone. Watch us every week, 3 times a week on RVTV, or see the show online at Roanoke County Parks. Until then, we'll see you in the parks. What's the buzz about Green Ridge Recreation Center?
It's a place that's close to my house that I can come and get in shape.
We saw the quality of the exercise environment and the opportunity for our kids to enjoy it and take advantage of really a cutting-edge fitness facility.
The staff here is wonderful. They are very hands-on. They love to help people.
Join the fun through daily admission or membership. Green Ridge, healthy fun for everyone.
Every trip, every time, buckle up so you and your friends get home safely. Seatbelts save lives.
Okay.
Visit NHTSA.gov.
That is spectacular advice.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Let's get out there and play!
Sweet.
Ooh, freeze!
When do I get to be in?
Uh-oh. Hey, Reggie, frozen people can't talk.
PLA.
An hour a day.
I'm it. There are lots of great play ideas online, but don't stay too long.
Be a player.